Hello, my name is Wendy and I'm the Regional Manager for ServiceMaster Mercia, and I want to talk to you about how you can be safe when you return to work. It's been a difficult time we've had with COVID-19, and when you return to the workplace some things will change. In fact, lots of things will change. And for some of you, safety is going to be around who you're working with, whether you're working on your own, part of a team, or at lunchtime working with our customers to deliver a service for them. I'll talk to you now about the signs of COVID, and it's really important that you know what these signs are so that in turn you can keep yourself safe and you can keep others around you safe. I think we probably all know what they are, don't we? But they are actually a persistent cough, they could be a change in temperature, they could be a loss of the sense of taste or smell. They could be just one of these things, and you could just generally be feeling under the weather. If you have any of these symptoms, or any of your family have any of these symptoms, you must notify your supervisor immediately and you must not come into work. If your family members have these symptoms, you have to isolate for 14 days. If you've got them, then you need to take advice from calling 111. If you're at work and you start to feel unwell, you must leave site immediately. You must, of course, notify your supervisor that you're going to do that. Social distancing, we've all heard of this, haven't we, and have been doing it. But it's really important that this continues to be maintained at all times. And this includes travelling to and from work, try to avoid walking in groups. If you're bringing somebody into work, maybe they sit in the back of your car so that you're not going to be too close to them. When you're on site, you must maintain social distancing as well. There are quite a few times at work when you can get very close to others, in particular when you're logging in or logging out or signing in on a paper version, or when you're at your cleaning cupboard where your other colleagues are working, or where you're collecting keys and passes. It's really important that you keep aware of the fact that you must keep a social distance from them. It does mean you're going to have to be patient. It does mean that things are going to take a little bit longer, but you really must maintain this distance. When you arrive on site, there may be a change to your working area. In fact, it's probably inevitable that that's the case. This is because, particularly in schools, things have changed dramatically. And in offices, desks are moving, people are sitting in different places, and therefore things will take a different amount of time to do. Your supervisor will lead you on what you need to do, or your manager will lead you on that. I'm now going to talk to you about personal hygiene. And again, this point has been laboured, but it's imperative that you maintain really high standards of personal hygiene. This involves regular showering, hair washing, clothes washing, and hand washing. You must regularly wash your hands for at least 20 seconds with soap and water, and dispose of any tissue that you've used to dry your hands with in the bin by the side of you. You must avoid touching your eyes or mouth or your nose, just in case a virus is on your hands. And you must wear the protective clothing that you've been provided with. Depending on when you're working and who you're working with will depend on what protective clothing you're going to need. But what you are going to need is gloves. You must put on gloves, and you must do this as soon as you get on site and before you use the phone to log in and log out. When you're using the phone, make sure that you put the phone onto speaker so that you can hear what's being said and not put the handpiece to your mouth. Some of you, when you're working on site at lunchtime, may want to have a mask on. We've got some face visors which we can issue to you, which will help you feel safe. They will be your personal visor, they're wipeable, so you can keep them. You need to mark them with your name, and if you want to wear them, you can. The government guidelines, though, are very clear, and that is that these are there to make you feel safe, rather than preventing you from getting COVID-19. All of you have been issued with some protective clothing. That is either a tabard, a t-shirt, or even both. We are mindful here at ServiceMaster that we haven't issued you with at least 5 items. So if you work 5 days a week, you can put a clean item on every day. Therefore, in order to maintain personal hygiene and to keep you safe, at this time, we would like you to wear some of your own clothing that you don't mind wearing to work and that you can launder at 60 degrees and above. So what happens now? Well, of course, your managers will be in touch with you about returning to work, and you'll be receiving an email with a copy of our ServiceMaster risk assessment. I'd love you to take the time to read this assessment and take and digest its contents, because this will also help you to be safe. I want to thank you for looking at this video, and I'm sure that both myself, Amy and Claire will be seeing you soon on site.